The other stock that we're focusing on is Kalyani Steel. They reported a rather good set of numbers in the third quarter. The revenues grew a little bit on a year-on-year basis, but the margins as well did expand. Mr. R.K. Goel, who's the managing director of the company, joins us on the show to discuss the numbers in detail. Hi, Mr. Goel. Good morning and good to see you in. Shareholders will be very happy. Mangalam and me have asked you many times in the last few years, Mr. Goel, what are you going to do with your cash? Now, in the last 1 month, you have already gone ahead and purchased an asset from the NCLT, so good news. And now these numbers as well look quite good. Explains why the stock is now at the high point of the day. From yesterday and today, I think in the last couple of days, it's up close to 10%. So let's understand a couple of aspects. The last time we spoke 20 days or so ago, you were telling us that you're in discussions for a price revision. Have you managed to get that price revision with the OEMs?
Good morning. With some of the OEMs, we could manage to get the price increasing. Others, the discussion is still on. And we are hopeful that we will definitely get some price increase.
So the price revision you were looking at is 3,000 rupees. With some of them, you have got 3,000 rupees?
Yes.
Okay. And as a percentage of your total mix, what percent has agreed? What percent is yet to agree?
Actually, in total, if we talk about the percentage, it is only 20-25%. But others are also negotiating, and I'm sure very soon we'll be able to conclude that.
By when?
It's very difficult to say when you are in negotiation. The decision is not by one party.
All right. So, be that as it may, irrespective of the price increase that you get or not, what stood out this time around was the margins that jumped from 12.5% all the way up to 20%. What is a sustainable margin that we should be looking at from here?
Actually, we are working very hard on our product mix, on our capacity, everything. And we are trying to see that we are able to get at least 18% to 22%, somewhere in between. But however, the controls are not with us 100%. Basically, it depends on the raw material prices also. So we are looking for a reduction in coking coal prices, but as of now, they are becoming strong day by day. Iron ore prices are becoming strong every day. Like exports of iron ore has gone up, and the prices in the domestic market and international market are going up. So it definitely has
18% base case one should assume irrespective of everything, right?
No, I'm not saying 18% one should assume. We are trying to achieve that.
Okay. All right. Mr. Goel, the aspect that really got the street excited is when you've gone ahead and acquired the assets of Kaminini Steel, which has a capacity of close to 3.5 lakh billet capacity. Effectively, that's close to doubling your capacity. Now, give us a couple of details. By when will this acquisition get done? And from which quarter onwards it's up, running and start contributing?
We are working our detailed plans, as I mentioned in our last interaction. We are under NDA from so many agencies. So I don't think I can speak right now. It will take us another 2 to 3 months time. And then as soon as we are able to conclude our thinking, we are able to sign certain agreements, then we'll come back.
So what do you mean by these NDAs with a lot of parties? Because this is a purchase that you've made already. It's been reported to the exchanges. What are the formalities that remain? And by when, according to you, does it asset come on your books and perhaps start contributing?
It will take a couple of months by the time it may be on our books. But then this is not in isolation. There are a lot of other things which are going on parallelly. And
like what?
As soon as it is appropriate, we'll come back to you.
What are the other things, sir?
There are a lot of other things because it's a melt shop. There are a lot of things, how to run. We are making a detailed business plan, which product, which customers globally. There are a lot of things which are going on.
Okay, Mr. Goel, so for the second half of the next fiscal year, we can see a contribution coming in from this unit, second half?
We will be able to share something maybe after a quarter or so, what exactly we are going to do with this asset and when we can expect some contribution from this plant.
But at least give us some broad deadline. Should we assume that in FY25 itself, that it won't be up and running at all because this plant has been shut for the last few years?
I think we would like to wait for some time before we give any idea.
So no contribution assume for at least the first half of FY25, maybe at best the last quarter of FY25.
I have not said anything. We'll come back to you. Give us some time.
Okay, Mr. Goel, as you said, you could either sell roll steel or you'll have to sell it in billet form, which is currently. So initially, safe to assume that you'll sell it in billet form?
As
Whenever-
I said earlier, we'll come back to you. We are working on it. Give us some time.
Okay, all right. Let's, at least for this unit, you told us the big capex plan of 5 to 6,000 crores for the entire unit to get to that 1 million ton of steel capacity, correct? That's the plan for the next few years.
We'll come back to you. Once we finalize our thinking, we'll come back to you.
Okay. Can you tell us what are the thoughts that you have laid on the table? There is no final decision that you've made. What are the options? Let's.
I don't like to give any idea which market speculates until we crystallize our thinking. It's not appropriate for us to give any idea or anything.
So we'll wait by then, sir, for clarity on that front.
Yeah.
But could
Please.
you tell us the capex plan, which you already told us, is 5 to 6,000 crores for the next few years? That is still 2028, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, how is funding of this will be? How will it be done? Will you look to raise some money from the equity markets? Will the promoter entity pump in some money, or will it be debt funding? Now, at least a rough idea on that front.
Actually, as I mentioned before, we are working on it. And once we conclude our thinking, we'll come back to you. It is premature to talk about it.
Okay, we'll allow you to conclude your thinking and come back to us with a lot more clarity, and that will perhaps, set the things right for the street as well. But because there is so much interest right now, people are curious about what the growth plans of the company are. Be that as it may, can you give us a sense of the quarter that we're currently in? What are the kind of volumes that we can expect? And, at least for the very near future, you must be sitting on some low-cost inventory, right? So the fourth quarter, what kind of margins can we expect?
First of all, there is no low-cost inventory. Prices are going up. Our capacity is by and large 100% utilized. And we are working hard to maintain or try to see that we are able to maintain the profitability.
Okay. All right, Mr. Goel. Always good to hear your thoughts. You're making a good effort in there to maintain the current business. But as you said, you're in thought process, you're in consultation process, you have an NDA that's underway. Whenever all of that can get ironed out, we here at CNBC TV18 would love to have you on the channel, and you can share those thoughts with us. For the time being, what we can say is the street has liked the last quarter's numbers, and they've liked this acquisition as well. But they are waiting, for further clarity on that front. Wish you all the best, and we invite you back on the channel once we have some clarity with regard to this expansion.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right. And sir, just before we let you go and once we have some clarity, could you give us some clarity on by when we can expect some clarity?
Give us some around 3 months' time.
3 months. All right. We will take that as a promise. Thanks a lot, Mr. Goel, for joining in.
Thank you.
All right, Nigel. So there is a lot of clarity which is required. He's told us that 3 months is what we have to wait. We will obviously make that call 3 months later to get some more clarity.
Mangalam, I recall we had put out a piece here on CNBC TV18 on Kalyani Steel at around 250 rupees approximately, if I remember correctly. That's around 3 years or so ago. And the problem at that point of time was business was good. They were functioning at optimum utilization level, good parentage because it belongs to the Bharat Forge Group.
Yeah.
But the problem was that they're not doing anything with regard to the cash that they had in their books. So now they've done that. And just take a look at the stock. I think in the last 1 year, if you look at it, the stock price could have close to have doubled. It'll be easily up close to around 50%. And that's because they've finally gone ahead and done something with regard to the cash expansion. And also we have, the current business that is fairly stable. Slip into a short break, come back, continue to focus on markets and stocks with specific action.